Okay, good morning, everyone. Give me a minute to start sharing my screen. Okay, here. As we also give some minutes for the rest to be here. And there was something pending the previous session, and I remember I told you that because of time we couldn't finish. There are only 2 slides I would like to finish or to close the topic from previous class. Okay. And also, if you couldn't check this material in the classroom, you have this in the classroom, yes? Let's have this very first minutes just to close with this part. We couldn't do it last session. That was about the difference between the traditional discipline versus the positive discipline that I had been talking, yes? We have this chart, please check it. If you haven't, go to the classroom and download this PPT, especially this part. Here you have the source, because what happened to teachers in general, and actually adults in general, not only teachers but parents, okay, etc. It's very difficult for us to distinguish which one is the traditional discipline, which one is positive, what does it really want. Okay, we tend to have different, actually a lot of misinformation, yes, related to the positive discipline. We consider that it's too permissive, no limits, no rules, and that is not, okay? So let's just finish with these pending slides, okay, from the previous class, okay? You have here, important to know who developed the theory, okay? Remember that everything comes from years ago, okay? Different psychologists, different scientists, teachers, and so on. Traditional and discipline, okay, apart from the common practice of Pavlov, Skinner, Thorndike, okay? Actually all the ones related to conditioning, if you remember. Okay, and positive discipline more comes from the Adlerian psychology. It comes from Adler, Glasser, Nelson, Jane Nelson, for example, okay, Lott, and many others. Okay, so different researchers, okay, are the ones who study and who develop these theories or these 2 approaches, okay? Now, when talking about the behavior, okay, since or with a traditional discipline look, okay, or view, what motivates behavior, we consider that people respond to rewards and punishments in their environment. That is a conditioning, okay? And if we look, or we have a general look, that is how our society really works. Now, when you do something badly, you receive like a punishment, okay? And that is what has as a main goal or objective, okay? If you do something good, you have a reward or a prize. If you do something bad, you receive a punishment, okay? And in the case of positive discipline, okay, what motivates behavior is that people seek a sense of belonging, okay, of connection and significance. They have a meaning in a social context, okay? If you compare both concepts or both reasons, let's say, one goes a little bit deeper, okay? Because that sense of belonging, that sense of significance is something that even have a more emotional impact and more psychological impact on the human being, okay? And many of the society problems we have now, it's because there is no sense of belonging within the families, with the citizenships and their cities or their country, okay? So they focus on different things, okay? The question is, okay, what is more important? Okay, that the person does something good for a prize and a reward, or that the person has this sense of belonging and connection to this family, connection to this teacher, connection to this country, to this nation. What do we really want? Should be the question, okay? When do we have the most influence on the behavior of others? Again, no, we can have influence on behavior of others if we are teachers, no, if we are parents, and so on. In the case of traditional discipline, we just have it at a moment of response to a specific behavior. Okay, while in the positive, it's in an ongoing relationship founded on mutual respect. Okay, not only at that moment of the behavior, good or bad. Okay, good or bad. But in the case of a positive, it's, I mean, something that starts in newborns or even in, well, pregnancy, okay? And every day, building everyday relationship, okay? Notice that says mutual respect, okay? What are the most powerful tools for adults? From the traditional discipline theory or etc. For us as adults, our powerful tools so we can discipline the kids, okay, or teenagers is with control, rewards, and punishment. Okay, just that. That's just that. Probably, if you have kids, I mean your own kids, if you're a mom, if you're a dad, okay, or probably again as teachers, and you notice a bad behavior in your class or bad behavior at home, how can you? Which is your first solution? I think that from majority, okay, from most of us, the first or the immediate solution is punishment. Okay, now you don't watch TV. Okay, now you're not going to play with your games. Okay, now go to your bathroom. Okay, now so you want to go to the party, no? Okay, an immediate solution because that's the only thing we have or that's the only thing we know and because our parents did that, okay? Or if it's in class, okay, now so you don't have break today, no? Or you don't have a point, I know, okay? No more tools, no more resources, okay? Now, in the case of the positive discipline, notice the difference and probably why is it more difficult to apply, no? The powerful tools for adults that practice or is part of their lifestyle, the positive discipline is empathy, understanding the perspective of the student, collaborative, problem solving, kind, and firm, okay? Firm, because as I told you at the beginning, we tend to think or misinformation actually is the responsible, no, that positive discipline, no, kids do what they want, the parents nowadays don't say anything, okay, they don't follow rules, blah blah. No, that is not positive discipline, okay, that is not, okay. So notice which is easier for us, to punish a kid, to give him her a prize, sticker, a reward, okay, or is it easier for me to be more empathic, for me to understand as a student thinking way, for me to problem solve, for me to be kind? Can I be kind when I am having some kids, I know, playing around in the class? Can I be kind if I have kids that are, I know, bothering each other? You tell me. You can use the chat, please, to share your experiences. Or what do you think? What will be more? What will be easier for an adult? I will say that the easiest one is to punish, no, or to give something, to prize. Okay, that is the easiest way. It's immediate, and we don't require much thing. We don't require our brain to work. Remember, we checked also the previous class the different areas of the brain, the different brains, no, the emotional, the instinctive one, the thinking one. Remember, okay? To punish or to give a reward, actually something immediate. Yes, but what happens if I need to put in practice my empathy, problem solving, etc., etc.? Those are normally the executive functions that require our thinking brain. So it's a longer process. We need more thinking process, okay? And for that reason, it takes a bit longer. And for that reason, it's usually more difficult than applying traditional discipline, okay? But that's how we should, no? What we should do when applying the positive discipline in every context. What are the most powerful? I already did this. As I told you, to be kind, to be firm. How can I be firm? I mean, to make that kid respect the rules, to teach him, her the rules or the norms, but in a firm and slash kind way. That is a challenge. Okay, that's the thing. Sorry. Yeah. That's the thing I always tell to other families, to other teachers when I give this kind of talks. find the balance is the difficult part of teaching and raising kids, okay? Not going to the extreme of being like authoritative, and not going the extreme to being all the opposite, not saying no, not putting rules, not putting norms, no? And the balance is the challenge. And just to finish with this pending part from the previous class, respect, okay? The two types, let's say, or the two kinds of discipline, okay, see respect as different things. For traditional discipline, they consider respect as the obedience and compliance in relationships, which dignity and respect of the adult is primary. Okay, remember our past, remember our parents, and let's remember our teachers. Okay, don't say anything because I am your mother. Shut up because I'm the teacher. Okay, everyone in silence, teachers talking. No, those kind of things. Okay, or the typical. No? Nowadays we can laugh. Okay, and it's part of the even social network jokes. Okay, at home, no, and I'm saying no. Okay, but why are you saying no? Because I'm your mother, and I say no, and no is no. No, so those kind of things, because it was like I'm the authority, okay, and you need to respect me. You as my son, you as my daughter, you as my student, you need to respect me, okay, because that's what traditional discipline considers. Respect is just for the adult, okay. Now, for that reason, we have this kind of vertical relationship. But what about the positive discipline? The positive discipline 6, well, respect that is mutual. Everyone, okay, we are everyone humans, okay, and not even in between people, okay. We have animals, we have plants, I mean, there are more, okay, living species in our planet, okay. So it says that it's a mutual. Respect is mutual. It's in relationships which each person is equally worthy of dignity and respect. Everyone, not only the adults, okay? Not only the elderly, but everyone, also kids, babies, okay? And even, as I told you, animals, plants, and so on. That's the reason we have we know we have human rights, but what about the kids and teenagers' rights? We just celebrated, we celebrated on the 20th of November, okay? Actually, they call it Childhood Day or International Childhood Day. Okay, when we celebrate actually the years that kids and teenagers have their own rights, internationally known rights. Do you know when? Since when kids have them? It's like, Declaración, ¿no?, de los Derechos Internacionales del Niño y Adolescente. Yes, and we celebrate it on Monday, I guess. When? Since when? Did you know that? You can put it in the chat if you know the answer. How many years ago did a group of people decide to recognize kids' rights or children's rights, teenagers' rights? When was it? Similar that occurred with women, no? For that reason, we celebrate or commemorate March the 8th as Women International Day, no? Because actually we are it's just to commemorate or celebrate, whichever word you want to use, but women to have rights, yes? Doesn't happen with kids. But there is a huge difference because in our planet, first we recognize men, after women, and many years later, childhood, okay? So in the case of childhood rights, I will put it here in the chat, childhood rights. It's only 34 years ago. Okay, I just put it in the chat. So 30 years ago is with UNESCO and so ONU, okay, decided, no, they have these kind of conventions, and to recognize the childhood rights around the world, okay? 34 years ago, so it's something recently. How old are you, people? How old are you? I am 31, okay? So when I was a kid, it was something relatively new, okay? And now imagine if we are 40 years old, if we are 45, if we are 50, 60, we didn't even have rights in the past, okay? So imagine if there were no rights, these were not identified or recognized around the world, or even countries. So of course, how can we expect parents, teachers, and all society in general, to respect our rights if we didn't have them? The same happened with women, but there was a huge change. The same happened with childhood, okay? So it's something relatively new, okay? Something really new. For that reason, generations from the past, okay, it's, as for every topic we know, difficult to change our minds, no? Difficult to change the mind, difficult to say, okay, no, this is not the best way to help your kid for discipline, okay, this is not the best way to do it with your student. It's difficult, okay? But why is that? Because of this, because this is something actually new. The same happens with neuroscience. Neuroscience is the last 50 years when they started investigating. Now it probably will pass more other 50 years. So all generations start, okay, no, yeah, this exists. We need to follow the science. This is something proven and so on. Okay? So it might. Yeah, this is something new, now changing minds in the new generations is a must, yes, based on science and so on. So this is it, positive discipline is that mutual respect. For that reason, as I was telling you this example, no, it's very common for elderly people consider that everyone needs to respect them, but they don't respect the others, no? For me, a very short example before we finish. It's very common for me, for example, to see elderly people on the streets throwing their garbage. They are eating an ice cream, they are eating a sandwich, and all their garbage go onto the floor. Or they are on the bus, they open the window and they throw their garbage. Have you seen that? I've seen that a lot. And most of those people are elderly people because they are not respecting that that's not their house, that they are contaminating, that they can even bother other people. Yes, because that's the way they have grown. Okay, and that's the way now new generations need to change, of course. Okay, the same as with respect. Response to inappropriate behavior. Traditional discipline, we have already checked, is to censure, to punish, to the isolation, the famous go and stand up there on the corner, okay? Stand up 15 minutes for you to think. You need to think and analyze what you have done. Go away, typically way, no? Or at home, go to your bathroom. I don't want to see your face. Go to the bathroom to reflect on what you have done. And the kid has, like, or the kid is 6 years old, no, 5 years old. What can a kid of 7 years old reflect, analyze? No, but we do it. Okay, we do it. Go to your bathroom. Isolation. Okay, that is the way traditional discipline responds to inappropriate behavior. What happens with the positive discipline? Naming, but without shaming and blaming. We are respecting people's feelings. Okay, naming because, yeah, probably that behavior was not correct and we should say them. Okay, this is what you did was not appropriate, what you did was not respectful. Okay, we name it. Okay, but we are not shaming and blaming. You are bad. No, we start humiliating people. No. Okay, we focus on solutions. We follow through addressing the belief behind the behavior. Yeah, why did that kid do that? Okay, remember the positive discipline is that to help adults, to teach adults know and understand the reason behind that behavior. Okay, why these two students are always fighting or are always, shouting? Why are these two students always standing up and going around the classroom? Why are these no? I mean, asking ourselves, what is the reason behind? Remember that the behavior we see is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, what it's down, there are multiple factors that we don't normally see, or we don't want to see, or we don't know how to see them. Okay, it's different. And then response to dangerous and destructive behavior, again, the same, no? Censure, isolation, punishment. Positive Discipline, clear follow through without getting in the way of the student experiencing the consequence of their action. Yes, consequences. If you do something, there is always going to be a consequence. Okay, but talking about consequence, it's much more, so we will take longer. But normal, again, because of misinformation and confusion, we tend to think that a punishment is a consequence. No, and it is not. Consequences are completely different from punishment. Okay, but again, it's part of the misinformation we have. We don't really know. Nobody teaches us actually. Okay, what is it? Okay, this is the misbehavior. What should be a consequence? No. Yes. Okay, this is the misbehavior, and I do this. No, but that is a punishment. No, but this is a consequence because the student needs to know that if he or she does that, blah, blah, blah. No, but you are not really teaching. I mean, you're just punishing the behavior, but you are not teaching life skills. Okay. So, but that should be for another course like positive discipline we can do. But it's interesting and it's very important to know the difference, that the punishment is not a consequence. Okay. And student learning is maximized when, in the case of traditional discipline, the adult has effective control over student behavior. And positive discipline says when student feels belonging and significance in the classroom. Okay, when we start in a new group, okay, or a new year at school, for example, the first thing we should look forward is to get this connection with my students. Okay, if these students feel connected with me, if they have this sense of belonging to the classroom, believe me, you have won everything. What will come next, okay, will be easier for you and for your students. Okay, but if the problem is the relationship between, I mean, the teacher and student, you will have problems. Kids will have problems. Okay, and even the course. No, I can ask you, how many of you at school probably hated English? Okay, or how many now we can see with our friends or with our family now in the present time, how many adults hate English and they have to study because of university, huh? Because of their degree, because of their master. I mean, they must study in English, or they have to study in English, but they really hate that. And when you ask them, why don't you like English? Because at school, I remember I had a teacher that was this, and did this. No, and the reason is a teacher. That school English teacher. Not it was not English. It was not the language. It was not the culture. It was the teacher. Okay, probably that happens to many of us with mathematics. I don't know. Okay, usually mathematics is the one of the subjects that most of us didn't really like, didn't enjoy at school. We have a lot of problems with math, I know, and that math teacher, because let's remember how these teachers used to teach. No, okay, very strict, very authoritative, completely traditional discipline, and we ended up hating maths, and probably that's the reason we decided to start careers that are related to languages or no, and not numbers. The same happens with English, so we should be very careful with that, because we can change that future adult mind. Okay, and that's the way they will feel. I mean, the way we treat them, the way we behave at school or any classroom, is the way they will feel in the future. Okay, their connection to a language. Okay, so if we don't want them to hate the language, or to, if we don't want us to be remembered, you know, as that horrible teacher, bad teacher, etc. Okay, so of course we should probably make some changes. Okay, great, class. That was the pending topics from the previous class. Those two slides, traditional and positive discipline. But that field, that word, it's actually really interesting, but we have lots of information. Okay, so here, this session is not as theoretical as probably others. Okay. We're checking because as we're talking about teaching young learners, and we have different group ages, no? Because yeah, we can be in the group of young learners, but they are not the same. Now remember that we have from kindergarten, the first years of primary school, the last years of primary school, definitely they are not the same. They're all children, yes, but they are experiencing different life moments, biological changes, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Here, I will show you some ideas, some activities, some kind of games, some resources we can use when teaching them, okay? And as I put there, inside the classroom and outside the classroom, we generally have if we have the chance to work with them in other places, okay? And we have here some activities I will show to you, okay? So, well, you already know me. And let's start before we check these ideas to first know our students. Remember, and what I have been telling you these sessions, we need first to know them. Okay, it's perfect that we have all our methodologies, dynamic, tics, all our specialization in properly teaching. But if we don't know the brains we are teaching, actually we are not doing a good work, right? And first thing is to know some characteristics with the group of ages we're going to see, divided in three, and which are the implications of that in our class, and which will be the needs to be covered, okay? For example, here, look, have a look and check. This first chart is from the group of age within 4 and 6 years old, okay? That normally are no? Kindergarten, probably some of them already starting primary school, okay? Here have a list of characteristics implications. Have a look and then we will check here. Okay, so for example, remember 4, 6 years old. These kids are in kinder or they are about to start first grade of school, primary school. And these are typical characteristics from them. They are preschool or just beginning school, as I told. No, we can have, at least here in Peru, we can have many 6-year-olds that are recently going to formal education, okay? Or we can have a 6-year-old about to finish kinder, no? That varies. But this is the first one, they're preschool. So the implication is that they are not used to classroom conventions. They're in the process of learning, what's the classroom, the routines, teacher, okay? It's the first time, this first experience. So what is the need we need to cover? Training them in class routines. No, that's the reason probably the first classes, and even with little kids, is to set routines. Okay, now the experts, kinder teachers, okay, you have all the abilities, all the creativity you use with picture, flashcards, songs, okay, because we need to help them then and help their brains to become used to routines, okay. And that is a process, definitely. Okay. For example, like listening to teachers. If they are a group with other kids, but there is a teacher, and when the teacher is explaining the class, and he needs to pay attention, that is a process of routine that they need to get used to. Okay, it's not something that since the very first day is going to happen. No. Other characteristic at this age is, for example, the limited motor skills. Okay, which are the implications? For example, they've got a clumsy control of pen or scissors, colors, no? They are in that process of even migrating their hands coordination, the eye-hand coordination. Okay, so what is the need we need to cover or to help them to develop motor control? And that is the reason all the activities, or most of the activities at this age is what? Coloring, copying, pasting some things, painting with brush, etc. Color brush. different those kind of activities, because the reason behind that is that we need to help their hands, their body, their arm, okay, to get adapted into these motor skills. Okay, learn holistically implication, whole child needs stimulations. Yes. And what the need we need to cover, okay, is to give them opportunities to move, to sing, play, explore, touch. Okay. Again, that's the reason the activities we normally use with these students from 4, 6 years old, more or less, are all handy ones, right? They do different handicrafts, they need to play, and very important, they need to move, okay? Remember what I told you also in the previous class, to know our kids' development, to know with students or young learners brain development will help us to have real expectations of behavior in our classroom. If we're expecting kids of 6-year-old to be sit down on the chair the full class, well, let me tell you that that is a fantasy, no? If we expect that a kid of 5 years old is there on their chair doing the activity without standing up or moving around, that's also a fantasy, okay? And not because, and that happens even on 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, no? Because they need some movement, probably not the same amount, definitely, okay? But they need some movement because the brain learns by movement as well. So that's the reason, no? They are constantly standing up, going to the other classmates' table, etc. And why do I focus on this? Because what happens again, because of misinformation or unreal expectations, is that then comes the nowadays very popular tagging of that kid is ADHD, you know, that kid is hyperactive. Okay, that kid probably has different ADHD, you know that, right? Let me put it in the chat. ADHD, no? And then we start tagging all our students. Yeah, this is probably ADHD. Or we call the parents, please go to the psychologist. This is probably ADHD. Okay, or not. Yes. And not only teachers, parents even. When I help families in this process of raising, etc. And this is a difficult question. How can I know if my kid is ADHD? Because he's always like moving around, he's never still, and blah, blah, blah. If online class, I remember one question of a mother. Yeah, it's the online class, and okay, he sits down, but then in the following 2 minutes, he stands up, he goes, well, I think he's the ADHD, or he has got this ADHD condition. And when I asked this mother, okay, how old is your son? And she told me, okay, my son is 5 years old. Come on. No, I wanted to answer, come on. Okay. But I was like, no, this is completely normal. This is not ADHD. Okay. By the way, when is the proper age when a student can be diagnosed with the ADHD? Do you know? What is the age that a person or a kid or a young learner can be diagnosed with ADHD? Will you tell me this in the chat? There is an age. There is an age when, okay, yes, I can tell you this kid is being diagnosed with ADHD. Do you know? What age is that? No, nobody? Can share in the chat which is the proper age to diagnose or to confirm that a person is ADHD, has got ADHD. Okay, but there's 6, yeah. Actually, 6 around 7. 7 is more like a clear age for that, okay? 7 years old. Now, why are we, or why are there people in general, adults in general, that they start labeling or tagging the kids like ADHD and the kids are 4, 5, 6 years old. And don't say that because you don't know that. We don't know that yet. This should be recently studied from a neurologist, psychologist, and many other professionals, not only one. It should be a team of different professionals, okay? And it is since 7 years old, okay? Not before, because also that's related to the attention span in our brains, yes? Let's continue. Other characteristic from this group is that they cannot distinguish between different parts of the languages. They're little kids, no? So what is the implication is that they cannot analyze language yet. Okay, so if we tell them like subject, verb, no, they won't understand. I mean, their brain is not prepared yet. So we need to expose them to chunks. No, we use a lot of chunks actually when teaching English. Yes, as for example, stories, classroom language chants, no, these short phrases or these short verses, songs, etc. Little by little, because that's the reason, because they don't know yet the word. They don't even know. I mean, inside their brain, it cannot analyze that those words are adjectives or those words are nouns. No, okay. For the reason we give them like little by little. And we start with the classroom language. This is related to the first part of the classroom routines, okay? Probably if it's a 4-year-old, we can send can I go to the toilet? No, maybe toilet, please. Probably, no, shorter because they are 4 years old. No, you adapt according to the age, yes? Other characteristic from this group is that they have, of course, have limited reading and limited writing skills in L1. You know L1, yes? L1 is the mother tongue, okay? The first language, yes? In this case, okay, if we're talking about Spanish, we all have our Spanish as our first language, as our mother tongue. Okay, they, at this age, they have limited skills in their first language. So what can we expect with a second language, in this case, English, okay? And so what is the implication? That introducing reading, writing in English, and we need to cover this need for that reason. We should use lots of listening, lots of speaking activities, and a fun introduction to English letters and words, okay? Starting with the alphabet, with vocabulary, parts of the body or animals or colors or numbers. Yeah, but notice that says fun introduction, fun, okay, because these are little kids. Yes. Other characteristics, they see no need to communicate in English. Yeah. Why? Imagine we are 4-year-old right now. We are 5 years old right now. And you speak Spanish. I speak Spanish. What do I need to speak a language I don't know? I use Spanish, no, because they don't see this need. Everyone speaks Spanish, okay? In my class, my friends, my family. Why do I need to speak English? Okay, and it happened. I can tell you a personal experience because that happened with my own son. You know, I'm a teacher of English in Solvay, so. And when I wanted my kid this year to go to an institute of English, and it had been like a month trying to convince him to accept, okay, to go to this institute to learn English or to profound on different English topics. And he was 6 years old, okay? And the things he told me this: Mom, we are in Peru, and in Peru, we don't speak English. I don't want to speak English. This is what he told me this year, 6 years old. It was in February, I guess. Okay. And of course, you can probably start laughing because, yeah, okay, it's true. No, it's true. We live in a Spanish-speaking country. I don't really need to speak with others in English, okay? And he told me that, no? So, because they don't see this need of communicating in another language. It's normal, it's part of them, okay? And it's actually a bit logical. Why? If my mom, my dad speak Spanish, my teacher speaks Spanish, my friends speak Spanish, why? No? So they are very logical, actually. So there comes other part of the process. Well, in my case, I change the topic. Okay, yeah, we don't need to. But for example, when to my son, no, what I told him, but you like playing Minecraft on your Switch, on your Nintendo Switch. Is that in English or Spanish? In English. Ah, okay. So how can you understand that? No, my focus was on the game and something that he likes, and then well, he at the end I convinced him, and now he's happy with his classes. No, he loved, but that's how kids think. Okay, so what will happen in our class is that they will use Spanish in this case, or whichever L1 is exclusively. Okay, what's the need we need to cover? Okay, we need to give reasons to speak English. Okay, but what kind of reasons or how, considering that they are kids, little kids? Okay, with games, with chants, okay, stories, video, etc. No? We then use different resources, so we are provoking them, okay, that need of getting communicated in English. Yes, I of course that with this group of age, I'm not going to say English is important for your future, for your studies, for work. No, because they are little kids, they don't care about that. Okay, so we need to provoke. I mean, we need to simulate moments. I mean, that they need, they feel that need to communicate in English, and that is the job of the teacher, right? And then a last characteristic is that at this age, they do love stories. They love stories, fantasy, all about imagination. They are full of that. It's part of the age, you know, when they are grown ups and they become adults as us, and you know, they become more grumpy, they don't believe in anything, no? And we lose our our inner child, okay? This have a period of age, okay? And at this age, it's in effervescence, actually, okay? So they can, what will be an implication? They get bored. They can get bored with many of the topics, okay? So what we need to do, okay, let's give them what they want. No, let's adapt our classroom topic, sorry, material resources with the things they like, no, like fantasy stories and what they feel relaxed when they enjoy. That's the best way. And we know that's the best way of learning English, no, even as adults. Okay, what they like. So these are some characteristics from 4 to 6 years old. Okay, let's go now from this group of age, 7 to 9 years old. So they are already in primary school, okay? The first years of primary, because 7, 8, 9 normally is third grade, probably, okay, of primary. Kind of the middle, you know, of primary years. Well, talking about Peruvian education system, right? What happens at this age? Well, we have here all the characteristics. Beginning to be logical and analytical. Yes, the implications in our classes can be that they can see patterns. They are now aware of language. Yes, they now start finding reasons that they start connecting ideas. No, now they understand probably even more grammar situations. Okay, little by little, of course. And what can we do? Well, give them opportunities to experiment. For example, for them to make up their own chants. It's not like not more teacher controlled as probably with a 4, 5, 6-year-old kids. No, he will give them also the chance to have the control of something. For example, creating chants. I know. Okay. Other thing is asking questions. No, they start asking questions. I will say asking questions / questioning. They start questioning everything. But why? But what do I need to do that? But why is it like that? Now, for example, now my son that is 7 years old, he's in first grade of primary. And yeah, of course, he studies English at school. And a part of an institute, he's learning British English. But he already knows the difference between American, because I think at school, well, the material they use is British, and that's let's do a parenthesis, or let's have a parenthesis. I don't know why. If you are teaching British English and you are using material of British English, why are you speaking in American English? I cannot understand that yet. You tell me, class. Okay, if that school is working with British English, the material is British English, why is the teacher teaching American English? No, because you know the difference in spelling or pronunciation. I don't get that. Well, that happens. Okay. So, well, it happened with my son, and now he's questioning everything. Okay, Mom, is this English from? He says he calls it from UK. No, is it from UK? No, or is it from United States? No, and now he start questioning that. No, but why is it like that in? That he doesn't say British, he says UK. No, UK English. Why is it like that? Or why is it in America? No, so now at this age they start, apart from asking questioning themselves. No, and it's a very rich moment we can help them, because the implication is that they need answers. They do need answers. That brain needs answers. So how the adult behaves according to that is vital. Okay, it's vital. Or we make them go up, or if we make fall down, to be honest. So the need is that we need to give them freedom to express themselves and learn more than language. Are we giving freedom to our kids in class? At this age especially, okay? Let them express themselves, okay? If they want to ask, they want to know, but why? No? Or for example, the even but this age, probably 8, 9, 10, when they notice the difference between the alphabet in English, but the sounds in English which are completely different. No? And they can ask you, okay, this is letter A. Yeah, ma, in the alphabet is A, but what do we say? A book. Why is it a book and not a? And they start questioning this because they start analyzing the language. No, and they can probably even compare. Yeah, but in Spanish it's always a. It's always a. Yeah, no, and then you explain. You give the. I mean, if you're giving that freedom, you're doing the best job for them, for their brains, for their thinking process. Yes, it's a normal part. But for example, if we have a kid that is constantly asking, why is it American English or British? And this is British, and okay, let's always do British. And we answer in a not proper way, we are killing the curious thing they have. We are killing everything they have as a researcher thing, etc., etc. So let's be careful, please, because what we say, what we don't say, what we do really marks a difference in them. Okay. Other characteristic, reading and writing still minimal in L1. Yeah, okay, they are not limited as kindergarten, but they are very limited, no, because they're in the process of learning to read, to write. And nowadays, after pandemic, remember we have talked about that 2 classes ago, the after pandemic situation, after 3 years of online classes, we now have students in 3rd or 4th grade that they are 8, 9 years old, more or less, no? And they don't know to write, or they have a lot of problems reading, okay? So that's an even bigger challenge we have in L2 as English teachers, yes? But at this age, is normally that they are still minimal because they are starting in the process of reading comprehension, inferring, deducing, interpreting. Those are brain processes actually, that need to be developed like little by little. Okay, but if we lose time, like for example, pandemic, then in the future will be really difficult again. Okay, so when they will still need support and help, and we need to give them lots of practice and oriented activities. They also still have problems sharing. This is about school management or classroom management. Yes. So it's going to imply that group activities are not always successful. We probably in our lesson plan, it's the best plan, the best class ever. I have everything in consideration, but when I go to my classroom, everything is a mess, and it really worked like I always were expecting. definitely that can happen, right? But it's because, again, all their social skills, their emotional skills are in process of being developed. Okay, this is what we also talked the previous class. Remember the theory of mind, the empathy, etc., the control, the emotions of control of emotions. Everything is recently like, no, getting mature and so on. And this will affect, for example, activities that are in groups. Okay, again, it is a process. So the need we need to cover is teacher to guide them and chances to work alone. Okay, there are difficult situations, and I consider, and even the kids consider that it's better, it is actually the best for them, it's better for them to work alone. Okay, let's give them the chance. Okay, but we can adapt that day or for that student. Okay, you can work alone, not always, but that depends also how we can manage those things. Other characteristics, they start developing confidence to express themselves. Okay, what are the implications on classes? That students will have views on what they want to do or they want to talk about. No, it's like, okay, they always have an opinion, of course, and we should respect them. But at this age, it's like they are more emphatic, that they always want to share their points of view. Not that for that reason, this is related with the asking questions or the questioning, the inquiring. Okay, because they are in that process of, no, they want to be confident to express themselves. And again, how the adult reacts to this will again mark that future situation for that student or that kid. No, then in the future we can see adults nowadays that it's very difficult for them to express themselves. No, they feel insecure. They know even huge problems, as we can even talk violence problems we have now with adults. I'm talking about adults, okay, with their partners or at work, and they find really difficult to express themselves, to say no. Okay, to say no, to express that they are having some difficult situation. Why is that? Because when they were kids, they were not listened. No, they were not listened. They were not given the moments of confidence, of security, of freedom to express themselves. So believe me when I tell you that everything we do as teachers, as parents, and all adults that work with kids are predicting their future behavior, their future abilities, their future social skills. That brain, remember the architecture of the brain we talked the previous class. That architecture of brain can be modified, can be changed. By whom? By the adult, by that adult. Okay, so all this at this age very important that they feel confident to express themselves. Of course, with respect, they do that. Okay, they can just asking a question to a teacher, questioning an adult is not disrespectful. No, they're asking, they're questioning. You just give your arguments, okay, as you're talking to another adult. No, probably, of course, change your language, but don't get stressed or don't get annoyed because it's a human asking you things, okay? And he or she wants to express themselves too, okay? So I know you have an activity or you have a game that you are going to work with them, and there are a couple of kids that they don't really like that, no? And teacher, but I don't like that. I don't want to do that. Am I going to punish that opinion? No. Am I going to take it personal with that student? No, I shouldn't. It's like, okay, no, okay, yeah, I know not everyone likes everything, but what about you try, let's see, and for next class I will bring other game, etc. Okay, but that is what we have to do. We need to give them a chance to state opinions. Let's listen to them, please. Then don't close their mouths, okay? Because in the future when we have adults, that we have lots of problems in society, okay? And developing knowledge of the world around them. Yes, they know more than we often give them credit for. Yes, please. Let's not underestimate young learners. Let's not underestimate kids, okay? Yes, and it's very important. Let's don't do that. It's kid, it's 4, 5, 6. They know more, way more than us, okay? And so let's never underestimate that kids. I remember it happened. It was a very explicit example, again, during pandemic. And that was something that I was always against. Kids don't know how to wear masks. Kids don't know the social distances. Kids won't do that. Kids, kids were probably, what was, oh my God, are you really talking about the kids? Which have the most powerful brain in development, and they only need the correct orientation. The problem is the kid, no, the problem is the parent or that teacher that doesn't help or teach. No? In the case, I'm talking about this situation because I saw a lot on social network, on television, a lot of adults criticizing kids. Kids won't do that. Kids won't know that. Kids won't. Kids. Oh my God. Underestimating a lot. No? With the correct help and guide, they will do it. If they don't have the correct help and guide, of course they won't. But is that their responsibility? No, that's the adult responsibility. Okay, my daughter was 2 years old in the middle of the pandemic, and just because of looking others going to the streets, going to the supermarket, she learned by herself to put her arm, not to have this temperature revision. Remember when you went to the shopping center, etc. She was 2 years old, and she alone learned that. She was like stretching her arm for this, okay, or using the alcohol. She learned by herself. Kids learn a lot. Let's please don't underestimate. Let's just give them the correct orientation, the correct guide. Okay, some repetition the first time, and then it will work. Okay, let's give them chances to use what they know. Always, yes. 7, 9 years old. And let's finish with the last group of age that are included in the group of young learners. Okay, from 12 to 12 years old. No? Before they become teenagers, no? Because remember 13, 14, 15, those are teenagers. Okay, so I just consider until the 12 years old as young learners. Okay, so notice here the different characteristics, implications, and needs we are going to check. Okay, so probably if you're teaching this group of age, yes, this is what, 5th grade, no? 4th, 5th grade of primary, 6, probably the first years of high school or secondary, no? More or less, right? About to finish primary school and about to start secondary school, no? Okay, one of the characteristics is that they've got longer attention span. Yes, of course, longer than little kids. So that means that we need a greater range of activities. Yes, and we can give them opportunities to engage in tasks that require focus and commitment. Yes, now the tasks are going to be different. The activity we will work with them are going to be different. Okay, because they will have that time to focus, no, on that task they have to do. Knowledge of the world growing. Yes, now they know more things. Yes, more things. Which are the implications that more topics can be addressed? We can talk about other stuff. Yes. What's the need we need to cover? Stimulation. For example, giving information from internet and cross-curricular info. No. Now they know a lot. Even more. I mean, more topics. They probably we think they should know. Okay, they know a lot. So we can just, as it says, no, address to different topics. Also, it will depend on the methodology that is used at that school or that institute. No, there are many project-based learning, for example. Okay, so that will help. Okay, this group of students, you can take a social issue and work on that in class, since grammar, vocabulary, reading, writing, everything actually. Okay. Other characteristic is taking learning more seriously. Yes, because they are getting older. Now they will be in high school or secondary, no? So they can be given responsibilities or more responsibilities. But also we need to respect and give them chances to be independent. They are in the process of have this independent learning. they are probably not going to be at home with mom and dad all the time doing homework as well they were kids. Okay. Also in classes, they will probably not have the teacher that around them every single minute as they were kids, because we also need to give the chance of becoming independent in the way of learning. If we are always telling what to do, if we're always telling them their mistakes, if we're always correcting them, we are not letting them that chance to start developing. They are starting developing this independence. Okay. So we need, for that reason, we need to know our role as teachers at every different stage of life. It's not the same. Okay. What else? And let's not forget that they are still children. Yes. Because yeah, they have all different changes, biological changes, physical changes, but they are kids. They can even be higher or taller than us, but they are still children. Their brains are still are children. So, and they really have this need for security and pleasure. Yes. And as teachers, we need to be sensitive to their needs and also to their moods. No? They start becoming moody. No? And that is normal. Again, we shouldn't take it personal. We should have real expectations because it's part of their biology, their psychology, their neurobiology, their brains, etc. Okay, they don't even know what happened themselves. Okay, they're starting to learn why are they feeling that way, etc. Okay, and more emotions appear. Yes, because of the age. So that is a huge cocktail of factors we need to consider at this age, since 10 years old. Okay, so we need to be very sensitive. Okay. Now, this age, they are more cooperative with peers. Yeah, no, they like help their classmates. Probably the collaborative activities will be done better, than they were younger. Okay, so yeah, for example, you can do more group work. They can do more group work, and we just need to give some variety of grouping in class. Okay, working on their own, working in pairs, in groups, as class, and that is a very good moment to mix them all. No, not only that also happens in class, right? That they are all with the same group, with the same kids, with the same girls. No, we as teachers we can just adapt it and make them work with different people, and we are helping with their social skills. Okay. Other characteristic, intellectual, motor, and social skills development. They can be challenged more, so we should give them activities that challenge them. I will not give them an activity that I can work with a 6-year-old or with an 8-year-old. No. Okay, a little more complex. So we make them think more, analyze more, etc. They start developing their own learning strategies. Okay, children won't all react in the same way to the same task or topic. Yes. Okay, they have their own strategy. They're learning which is the best way for them to learn. Okay, they start finding, yeah, for me it's easier. I know speaking and listening, but reading and writing it. No, they start finding their ways, and definitely the different learning styles they have. Yes. So we just need to give them chance to personalize their learning experience. Okay, that will depend on them. Actually, we're just there to help them, to guide them. Okay, so these characteristics, these implications, and it's important always to know depending the group of age we are teaching. Again, so we have real expectations of behavior and management in the class. Yes, so now I will show you these different ideas or activities to work. Can be outside the classroom, inside the classroom. Adapt them according to your group of age. Okay. And then, of course, probably you know some of them. If you have others, please feel free to start sharing in the chat so everyone can get more ideas. Okay. Here we have. This is from a book from Pearson, Teaching Your Learners. Really interesting book. And look at this game. outside the class. We're talking about outdoor activities. No, they need movement. We have that time. We have the chance. I know that probably we cannot use this in all our workplaces. Okay, but if we have that chance, so they can move, they can go around. This game is good for practicing vocabulary and some questions. For example, where are you? Where do you go? Where are you going? Okay, and this is the procedure you have here. So you have some steps. You want probably to revise or teach some vocabulary. That depends on what you are working, rooms in the house, places, I don't know. Okay. And well, you're supposed to have some space and you choose 3, 5 places, different places, like could be a corner, the wall, that in your school or your place. And you give a name. Okay. So, okay, this is the kitchen. And if you're checking parts of the house, for example, this is the kitchen, this is the bathroom, no? Depending on the topic you are working or you want them to practice. So you tell the class, and you start asking questions. Where is the kitchen? Like that. You have a trial, and you say, go to the bathroom, etc. You eliminate the last child or the last 2 children to get a place, or any child who has run to the wrong place. Okay. Okay, you have some ideas. And the winners. Very simple. Okay, you don't need nothing. I mean, many things to do or material. No, you can probably here says okay, divide up places and give them a name. Depending on the age, you can paste it. No, if you have word cards, okay, you paste it on this kitchen, and you have probably I don't know. You will adapt it. You can adapt it. Okay, but the idea is that what are you doing here? Speaking and vocabulary, no, and they are learning the way we ask questions, and of course the vocabulary. No? So there are different skills there that we are working while in a game. No? We normally teach places, for example, using a picture. No, we show a picture on our PowerPoint, or you have a flashcard, parts of the house, yeah. Or places of a town. Yeah, but we can do more things, no? And it like this implies movement, and remember that movement really helps them a lot. Okay, the brain learns with movement. Okay, so you can use an activity like this if you have the area, you have the place, of course. Okay, here you even have some extensions, some other alternatives. Point in the wrong direction to make the children listen more carefully. You can probably make them get confused, no? So they're similar to the Simon says, no? And you don't say Simon and they get confused. Yeah, like that. Okay. You can even add adjectives to the places. No? Again, depending on the age, depending what you are doing in classes. Run to the big house. Run to the blue tree. Okay. I know. But of course, probably here you needed some material. No, it says put a blue circle on the tree beforehand. Of course, how they can know that it's blue. Okay. So you can adapt that. Okay. With some other ideas or alternatives. Again, depending on the age. Okay. Depending when you're working in class, etc. Okay. And you have other verbs. Not only running, but hope, fly, and you make the kids hope. Okay. Or they do the action of flying. Not only run, you can use other action verbs. Yes. Get the class to ask a specific question before you tell them to go. No. Where are you going? I'm going to Grandma's house, and everyone going to Grandma's house. Question, answer, question, answer. You're practicing question, answer. Okay. Children who are out, shut out the places with you, take your place, etc. Adaptation for younger children, get the children to mime an action when they go to the place. No? For example, if they go to that bathroom, okay, what can you do in the bathroom? Sleep, and they mime it, no? That they are sleeping. Wash their hands in the bathroom. So there are different alternatives. You can adapt this and make it proper to the group of age you're working with. Yes, that is one. Here we have another. There are 3 in your groups. Sorry. This game is good for teaching or practicing. There are a number. Okay, so you get the children walk around and then suddenly say there are 3, 2, etc. in your group. So the children have to quickly get into groups of the number you mentioned. No, then you go to each group and ask how many there are in the groups. Okay, and then everyone has to answer. No, but of course There are, no, using, because how many are there? 4. No, there are 4 students in my group. No, so they use the grammar structure. Okay, sorry, Angelica says in the chat, the teaching strategy the teachers are bringing class is very important. We need to take into account all the, yes, what we do, how we do. I can, as I told you for the previous activity, yeah, I can teach parts of the house with a picture. Yeah, it's valid. But why not trying other things? No, probably everyone uses a picture, and the kids are like sit down on their chairs, looking at the picture and repeating. No, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen. Yeah, but we can help in other ways, and it will be more memorable for them with a game, for example. No, or yeah, we can start with our picture, with our flashcards, and on a different class we do that game. Great. Okay, great. And really mean that way of learning or teaching will be more memorable because they are using other parts of their world, they are moving, they are having fun. All those factors make a significant learning. Yes. So we adapt them. Okay, so yeah, there is no, they say their sentence. Any children who are not in the group, well, they are out. No? And here has some more information. Yes, when there may be trouble because there are too many in the group. Okay, and no one wants to leave. Typical, no? Okay, I say there are 3 and there is a group of 5 and nobody wants to leave. Okay, so you can say there is 1 in your group, so they can just separate it. No, there is 1 in your group, and you just they become separated in group of 1. No, so again, these are little things that probably at the moment we cannot think of because we don't know. We can not think about that, and we can manage that problem. Now, if I have group of 5 and they are even starting to not fighting, but they start to having problems. No, but teacher, he doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want to leave. No, but I am here first. Blah. It can be no like a problem, but you just change. Okay, there is 1 in your group, so everyone gets separated, but they are playing, and you continue using the grammar, right? And then you repeat until the students are left. Yes, there are. Other game. It's according to the book. The name is Crocodile. And here you can teach the way of using can can't for asking, ranting, etc. And the verb to be, action verbs, and so on. You divide the children into 2 groups, get each group into a line facing each other. Okay, stand between the 2 lines. You are the crocodile, so you need to stretch out your arms, one above, like this. Okay, with palms facing each other. Okay, so this is like this is the crocodile's mouth. Yes. Clap your palms together, chanting rhythmically, I am a crocodile. Okay. Children have to ask, can I go? The crocodile answer either yes, you can, or no, you can't. It's your decision. Okay. In which case they have to ask permission. Yes, they have to ask permission again. When the crocodile says yes, you can, the children have to try and run past him the opposite side. Okay, to exchange places with the other group without getting caught. Okay, remember that they are standing in 2 lines, so you are like this. Okay, whoever gets caught by the crocodile becomes a crocodile and has to help catch the others. Okay, so if I'm doing this and then a kid passes, okay, now you are the crocodile and you change places, no? And now that student comes to your place as teacher and he or she is a crocodile. Okay, so they all make crocodile's mouth, their arm, blah blah, etc. Okay, then the rest of the children ask the same question. No, can I go? And depending on what they say, yes or no, like that. Okay, it continues until there are 2 children left and one the winner who wasn't caught. Okay, how can you change this? What other an alternative you can use to adapt this? Get the children to ask permission to go somewhere specific. Okay, not only can I go, but you can use, can I go to the beach? Can I go to the restaurant? Can I go to the park? Can I go to the party? And no, okay? As you're using vocabulary you have practiced in class. Okay, you can even show pictures here. Yes. Probably, okay, can I go? Or you have your group of flashcards and you just show it to them and they just look at the flashcard and they should know the word, right? So I'm showing a picture of a park. So they will say, can you go to the park? right? I'm not telling the answer, but just showing the picture. So they look at the picture and then say the answer. They practice vocabulary. Make them ask permission, using longer and longer sentences. Can I go to the park? Can I go to the park with Luis? Can I go to the park with Luis and Armand? Now, so you can make it longer, again, depending on the group of age, depending what you have done in class. Okay, if you see now they know this. Okay, your question, your short question, like can I go, can just be a bit longer depending of your group of class. Okay. Other thing, crocodile is in action. The children have to ask permission accordingly, no, depending if it's swim, run, you check verbs, okay? And then you have question answers depending of transport. Can we go? Yes, you can go by train. You have all those topics you can include there. Adaptation for older children. Ask their question with yes, but only if you have blue jeans, brown hair, long hair, no, and you just adapt it, okay, to make it more challenging for older kids. Okay, what else? That is, I would say, the class. Some ideas. There are more, yeah, of course. But let's go to the inside. We have some minutes before we finish. Okay, it's from the same book. Okay, this is a great book. You have ideas for outside and inside, and it says writing on backs. Really, you have done this. This game is useful for practicing vocabulary, short words, listening, etc. Okay, you ask the children to stand in a circle, one behind the other, so each one is looking at the back. Each child writes, can be a number, a letter, or you can even draw. No? Again, if we're using it with little kids, we can probably use drawing, no? Okay. The adaptation will depend on your group of class. Okay, a simple picture on the back on the people in front of him and using just his finger. Each child guesses what has been written or what has been drawn in the back. Okay, because doing it on your back with fingers, so you need to guess. Extensions, you make the game into a chain activity with a whole picture. Start the training in line with the front line near the board. The pupil farthest the board draws a circle on the back. And you have some other ideas how you can vary this activity of writing on backs. Okay. Pupil 2 then draws another part of the face, for example, the eyes. You have some. And everyone is forming a picture. No, it says this continues until the picture is finished. So here the adaptation is that everyone draws or writes one part and you finish completing a drawing, etc. Yes, you need to guess. And this is called beetle, where here you have the kind of the example you need to cut. No, this game is useful for practicing have got or haven't got, or have if it's American, no? Have, don't have. If it's British, have got, haven't got. The parts of the body, etc. You just draw a picture. This is an example from the book, but depending on your topic, if you're talking about parts of a house, so your picture will be a house and you cut it in different parts, okay? You draw a picture, what you want to work, okay. You divide it into 6 number sections like the picture you can see. This is, for example, about body parts, no? And you divide it in 6, the different parts of the body, no? So number 1 will be the head, number 2 the body, 3 an arm, etc. Okay, and you give your class these photocopies, these pictures. You divide a class into groups of 4 or 5, get each child to cut this photocopy. You make them cut, and the children put their cutout pieces in front of them on the group's desk. Okay, so you give each group a dice, which they take turns to roll. For example, one child rolls a 3, so he needs to say the phrase, no, I've got an arm, and takes a piece of paper with an arm on. Okay, then because number 3 was an arm, yes, the next pupil rolls 1 dice again. Okay, so he gets number 1. Okay, he according to his die, he's got number 1, so he says, I've got a head, and takes a piece with a head on. Yes, so here she says the phrase I've got, because remember the objective here was to practice I've got or I haven't got, no, and the vocabulary. So they say the phrase I've got, I have got. Okay, if a pupil rolls the dice and gets a part of the body that he already has, then he has to pass the dice to the next one. Okay. The first pupil to complete his puzzle is the winner. Okay, because everyone is taking one piece. So when they can just complete the puzzle is the winner, depending on the numbers they get the dice. Now, here, of course, you have only 6 pictures. Again, you can make it a bigger picture, more pieces. That depends. If it's parts of the house, probably there are more than 6. Okay, and you can vary. But remember, if you are using a dice, okay, or you include more numbers. If you include until number 10, okay, so you need to use 2. Yeah, so they get the numbers. No, so you make the adaptations, of course, but that's the idea. Okay. Now this is other activity from Teaching English with British Council. Where you have again list of activities from different from teachers around the world actually. And you have all the very complete, all the materials, the DMs, the preparation. Here you even have the age this is recommended for. Okay. For example, this is from the all ages, from a teacher called Giuliana Veruggi from Italy, and she made this activity, okay, which is a calendar, no, a calendar page for each child. And in this activity, the children decide what new language want to remember. The aim is to revise vocabulary. So this is an activity for practicing revising vocabulary. Okay, so you give them one calendar page. For example, we are in December. Yeah, November. You give them on a paper, just a paper, to share the calendar page only of November. So you have the dates and the number, the dates, of course. Okay, and we need square like a normal calendar just of November because we are in November. Okay, so what you make them do is to depending again, for example, here she suggests it could be every Friday, I don't know, or every day you choose, like a routine. You ask the children to put a new English word. Okay, now again, it can be with a picture, translation if you're a translation, but it shouldn't actually. Okay, or just the word. Yeah, the words can be from what you did in class or what the children asked you, or probably what the word they want to know in the in English. No, that depends. Okay, let's give them freedom, please. Remember, this shouldn't be teacher controlled practice. Okay, let's give them freedom because it's something that and they will do with their own words. Okay. So you help them, of course, with pronunciation, with meanings, etc. At the end of the week, the children take their calendars home and learn the words they have written down. By the end of each month, the children should have learned about 30 new words. But they have a colorful record of their achievements. It's not only the book, it's not only the notebook, it's not only lists of vocabulary. No, it's a different way, it's a fun way, it's a calendar. So you make it process like month by month. They have done them by themselves. They chose, or they are going to choose the words. This is not what my teacher is going to tell me, as always. Okay, I am going to choose. Yeah, so making that twist makes it more significant for them. Okay, so this is a way, for example, calendars and any words they have, and they take home and they can just put them on their walls. No, again, alternatives, you can vary them. Children can write sentences instead of words. No, if they are older and they have the level, they can not only write one word, they can write one sentence each day. That will depend on you and your class. At the end of the week or the month, children can write stories. They include the words as possible. So you can even use that material, not at that moment. You can use it later at the end of the month, or like a practice if you want. Okay. Okay, now use all the words from your 30 words in this month in your calendars. Use 10 of them and create a story. And you are using that material they created to have other piece of work or piece of evaluation. Yes. They even suggest for more advanced learners, you can make the task more challenging by asking them to try to use new words beginning with as many different letters of the alphabet as possible. Yeah, you're giving challenging tasks. Okay, so very simple, just a piece of paper divide it as a calendar month, and they create it. And it shouldn't take, it says, no, like 50 minutes, it's enough, okay? Because the idea is that they do it um, according to the time, and then, well, that's how you set your routines, yes? Other activity from a teacher called Juliana from Brazil, she suggests this from ages from 5 to 10, practically all of them, no? All ages. And here, the aim is to, again, revise language from previous lessons, okay? And what you need is a piece of paper, no more than that. For example, what is this about? Nothing else than a simple game of paper airplanes. Who hasn't played with paper airplanes? I think everyone. Nowadays, kids probably are not into because parents don't teach them or they don't know what is a paper airplane. So a very basic and simple game. You can use it, for example, as a part of your class. So the children make paper airplanes. Then they answer questions, and if they get the right answers, they have the opportunity to throw their planes at targets in the room so they can score points for their team. No, so we adapt some parts in our classroom and they can get points. Okay. Yeah. So, well, you need to prepare questions based on your work, what you have done in class. Okay, depending. So you give them a piece of paper, you show them how to fold a paper airplane. The idea is that they do them. No, should be. Or if they are little kids, again, you help them, of course. Okay. So yeah, look how in this lesson planning or this game planning there is instruction that says let the children play for a short time with the airplanes. I love it because this will happen. They will play. Okay, something innovative, something new. They are okay. Why not give 2 minutes, 3 minutes while you're probably doing something, you're finishing something to play. Okay, because part of the game, it's part of their instinctive that they would want to play. Okay, so I love to have this instruction there. Okay, because they will do it. They're kids. Okay, so but if you are like, no, no, use it. Wait, we're not giving instruction. No, the mood will vary, and believe me, that they won't be very participative in your game. Okay, so I love to have that instruction in the procedure task. Okay, let them play. Then you start with the proper instructions. Divide children into teams, and you decide with the children which part of the classroom are going to be these targets. And you assign a number to each target. I don't know, it could be the board, the garbage bin, I don't know. No? You decide with them. Easy targets will have a low number. No? For example, the table or your desk could be worth 5 points. Okay? And difficult targets, will have a high number. For example, the trash, the bin, because they need to, when they throw their plane, if they get into the trash bin, which is difficult, can be, for example, 20 points. No? That will depend on you because it's all difficult. So you keep according to the target they will throw their planes to. Okay? The most difficult target should be worth a good lot. I don't know, if you have a clock, they suggest you have a clock there in your classroom and it's difficult. Okay, 50 points for that. No? According to the level of difficulty, the amount of points. Okay. Then the children stand in lines in their teams at the front of the class with their planes, and you ask the first questions to the front row. The first child to raise their hand has to answer. Okay, they need to raise their hands. So you give an order, it becomes messy. If the answer is right to your question, they get a chance to throw the airplane at the target. They choose which target they want to throw. No? If they want more points, they will choose the most difficult one, probably. So if the plane hits the target, the child gets the points. If the answer is wrong, so another child gets the right ones. Okay. All the first row must then go to the back of your line, so the next group of children can answer. No? Because remember, you divide them by teams. Yes. So simple as that. The only preparation you need is probably your questions. Okay. Again, depending on the topic you have worked or the things you would like to ask them. Okay. And pieces of paper. Okay. And then the numbers. Nothing else is required. Okay. Again, always alternative you can use small classes. Children can play individually. Teacher can create running total over a week. You can even make competitions. Again, you can set as routines. Okay, every Friday we do this, or every Monday, or every 2 weeks. No, according to the topics you're working, as a way of consolidating learning. Yes, but again, it shouldn't take a lot of time, of course. Children can decorate their planes. They can make decoration as they want. Okay. Here we have a recommendation from another teacher from Russia, and she offers an alternative to airplanes. She suggests that you bring in soft balls or skittles or objects to knock down. Yeah, okay. No, probably you have the famous guns and you have balls. Probably you need some more materials, no? But you can adapt it, yes? So after answering the question, the children can try to knock down skittles. They score points depending on the number, etc. Again, we have variations, but I consider the plane something easier, simple, and doesn't require much time, okay, or much effort to do, okay, to make. Sorry, let's go now. Oh my god, we're about to finish. Well, songs, key for using with kids or with young learners. Okay, why? Because there are benefits. We are helping them with their listening skills, obviously with vocabulary, pronunciation, fluency, because they need to sing, they need the fluency, proper, according to the song, cultural knowledge as well. And of course, are having fun. So songs are important with young learners or very young learners. Probably not with the 10-year-old, 11-year-old that are in the in that moment of changing to teenagers. I mean, songs like little ones, not like one we have on YouTube, but can be songs that they like nowadays. Okay, so if they are into, I don't know, but they don't exist, no, they don't longer exist. One Direction. Okay, we can use songs from One Direction. I don't know which is famous now for them in English, questions in English. Okay, that they like, and we use the song, the type of song that they like nowadays. We can ask them. We can even ask, okay, which is your favorite, I don't know, singer, English singer, okay, music in English, what kind of songs do you like, okay? For example, now we know that TikTok is very popular now, and teenagers use it or they check them, no? And because of these trends, no, that happen or they have on in TikTok, I just go into. I have no idea how to use TikTok, to be honest. I just go and check some videos and that's all. But kids or teenagers are full into this. And nowadays, because of a trend, there is a music that is very repetitive, that is Born in Love. Have you heard that? You know, if you like TikTok. So kids or teenagers are full with this, so you can use it. And it's a lot because it's a trend and they use it a lot. Burning Love. And Burning Love is a song from Elvis Presley. And Elvis Presley, oh my God, kids nowadays, teenagers, they have no idea who Elvis Presley was. Okay, but they use it a lot in these TikTok trends, and many videos in TikTok are with Burning Love. So, and it's English, and you can use probably songs, no, that they are popular now because of internet, but these songs are not for the present and even for the past, no, but teenagers or young people nowadays are probably listening for the first time, but because of TikTok or internet, no. So, for example, that one song Burning Love is something that is being listened a lot in TikTok, but it's a song that is from the past. Okay, so you can use things like that with 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, for example. Okay, then you have this video of, the different YouTube, okay, videos you have here. This is a link. You will find this in the Google Classroom. There is no time to show you, but here you have the lyrics. Okay, you have the lyrics. You can copy paste and then transmit it, and also in the video it will appear. And you have many also activities. You have some ideas. Okay, it's called buzzsongs.com. Okay, and have a look. Have a look. So maybe you can help you with some other resources. Okay, of course, technology. There is one time again to show it to you, but you have this from Cambridge. Okay, and for example, this is the body. You go there and this is an interactive activity, like it's a game, no? You have the words in the letters in this order, and the student need to put them in order to have the correct vocabulary word, no? Okay, so, and it's from Cambridge, and it's according, this is for young learners. There are different topics, in this case, body, okay? Again, you will find the link in the PPT when I load it in a Google Classroom. This class, I don't have much time to show it to you. And TPR, what is TPR? What is TPR? It's an approach, it's a methodology we use a lot with young learners. Any? I know. Sorry, here in the chat. Yes, total physical response. I will put it in the total physical response. That is the TPR. And it's a must when working with young learners. Okay. This is an activity I did, for example, with my class. I remember of course, I have a laptop, I have a projector, I use digital sources, but that class, that day, everything didn't work. There was huge technical problems, and I need to adapt it, my class. And there was a problem in the classroom, so we need to change places. So a huge adaptation. And I have kind of this ring, okay? And and make them play. And my students were 8 years old. Yes, 8, 9 years old. Okay, and they were the first cycle, so it was the first class with English. We were learning, I think, the numbers, no, those kind of vocabulary, and then I made them jump or hope. Okay, probably for them, this is a very famous game actually. Now, when you put it on the floor with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but I put this and I made them jump or hope into each circle. But while they were jumping or hoping, they were saying words. Okay, I remember we were practicing numbers, colors, and I think places, I'm not sure, but it was vocabulary. So when they were jumping and they were hoping inside each circle, they were saying a word. And I make it a bit challenging going backwards. They had to jump backwards. Okay, very simple. And you just take this and just throw it on the floor and make it move. Okay, then this is another game. And you can just, again, downloading printing using also a dice, okay, numbers, and according to the number they get, they have these activities. Look, you have 5 options for activities. The student rolls the dice, and if the student rolls the dice number 1, you can choose one of them, or you can even put it with a color. No, you can do another dice with colors. I know, for example, you can use the normal dice, the number 1, and you can create one with colors if you want, or you can have this just as your options. No? So if many students have number 1, so you have many options for number 1. For example, okay, this student has number 1. Okay, you need to jump in place 10 times. Or you have to wrap your entire arm with your right arm, yes, with your L hand. Okay, right arm with your L hand. This wrap. Okay. A student gets 3. Okay, move the right side of your body. Okay, a student gets a 4. Okay, you have to spin in a circle 3 times to the left. Or you get number 5. Okay, you need to touch right hand to the left foot and then the left hand, the right foot. No, it gets even challenging. You know? So there are different alternatives. Okay, that makes you practice a total physical response. Yes. Okay, you are making the student move to your body. I'm very sure they have to, again, you already have here the ideas. According to the number they get with the dice, you say, move the lower half of your body. Take 10 deep breaths. Excellent. No? So you can use it, for example, exactly, young and very young learners. But what happens if you use this with teenagers? Do you think you will do it? I don't think it will work. No? It will work because you're breaking the normal routine of the class. You can use it probably once, no, not every class, not every week, no, but I think you can do this, okay, because they have to, for example, make 10 circles with your arms. Okay, so you can also use with them, no, in a proper moment, probably after a break of where you notice that they are really hyper, or you can use it at any moment of your class, or that you look at them and they look like bored or they feel tired. TPR word for that, because you are moving and you are helping your brain stimulating. Yes, they have here different ideas. You can just do. Also with Simon, yes, also with Simon or raising the dice. For example, you can just put this and you can put them in groups and give them dice, and in groups they have activities, not only you, and you give some individual time. Probably you need to do something with your plan, with your class, I don't know, and you can make them work in groups. So you give them the dice and you give them the cards. No? It can be adapted. Okay, and then you have different, well, Pinterest gives you many ideas. If you're working about recycling, we have in Pinterest lots of ideas. Okay, you can work, always check Pinterest for good resources. There are nowadays, to invent something is very difficult, because I think almost everything has been invented and has been shared. And the best resource is Google, is Pinterest. Pinterest is a lot. Instagram, you have a lot of teachers from other parts of the world that they share their ideas. So nowadays, everything, you can find new activities there. Okay, what used in other countries. What really helped me is to find material ideas from other countries. Okay, from British teachers, from even Chinese teachers, from other countries. We have other culture, other ideas, and try to find that. I mean, experiences that come from other parts of the world. Yes, look at this. Rhyming activity with spin. It's just a taller paper roll, okay? Writing letters with a marker, and you're practicing, letters and different words. Okay, this is what I do with that's my son. That's something we started doing during a pandemic. I remember it was identifying, because he was, I think, 4 years old, okay, in the middle of the pandemic. So I was teaching him vowels and colors. Okay, so I draw it, as you can see, circles and different colors. So he had to recognize the letters and the color. And I remember I did it in Spanish and English as well. Okay. So, okay, which letter is this? A. What color is A? Pink. Okay, where can you find A? This. What color you should use? Pink. Okay, no? And practice. Very simple. Okay, this is other game I used to play with my kids. You put colored papers on the floor. Okay, I don't know if you can see. Okay, we have color paper here, blue, green, pink, etc. And we have the famous bottle. So you spin the bottle. I remember that my son, my kids love this game. We could spend like 30 minutes playing this. They really love that. And so they spin the bottle. Okay, it's blue. Please find out here in your playroom or in your bedroom all objects color blue, and they start to bring. No, these are all their toys, etc. So you can also do this. Okay, depending on objects with the classroom, or you can give these ideas to parents so they also practice, and practice English, the colors, etc. with young learners. Okay, numbers. You're practicing numbers again. We kind of doing the ice cream. Okay, and it's not very clear, but he says a number, for example, 5, 2, 4, no? And with special markers, you have like this. Okay, this is for very young learners, because they are not writing, no? So they need to remember, develop motor skills. Shapes, no? We teach shapes when they are very young learners, no? So again, look, that boy from the picture, how old is he? 2 years old, probably, no? 2 years old. He's very, 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 very young learner, we consider. Okay, probably, this kid is not going to school, but we have now a lot of centers de estimulación or different kind of situation in business now, in education. And you can, if you work that, I know maybe some of you work in those places, which is great, and you can teach them English. Why not? Okay, so there are activities proper for them. They are not even probably yet coloring or holding a pencil or a color, pasting, and they are learning different shapes. No, you have here already. They are not cut. They don't use scissors yet, but you have the pictures. Okay. So remember what I have told you in the previous class. A stressed brain, okay, blocks learning. For that reason, playing is the best way of learning for a kid. Okay, while they are playing, they have all the factors. They are not stressed because they are having fun. They feel confident and secure with that adult that is giving the game, And the other factor, the emotions, because that boy or that girl is happy while playing. So those are the three factors which will get into a significant learning. Yes, class? Yep, this is the last. So I hope you get different ideas with this session. There are more, of course there are. Okay, and don't forget that I will upload these materials in the Google Classroom. Okay, thank you very much and see you for the next session. Yes, take care. Bye-bye.